Hey everybody. I'm going to go over a game jam I've done recently with the Ludum Dare 48. I developed a tower defense, and pretty much I learned mostly how to do art and then how to deliver an unfinished game. So I didn't actually finish it, but I'm just going to go over the process, some of the stuff, show you what I did in Unity, show you some of the art that I used that I created in Photoshop, and we'll play the game and see how it works. So let's get to that. And also shout out noobshack.com. You want to play any dedicated game servers? You got Rust, Minecraft, Valheim all running right now. So let's get into it. All right, so this is Unity. I'm going to bring it up here. That's a lot to look at, right? So we've got our scene right here, which is pretty much all of the components that I've created, mostly like UI components. So for this game jam, I wanted to kind of understand how to create tooltips, how to do some of these RPG systems that I want to expand for other games. So I have a bunch of buttons down here. These will represent the towers that you can create. And then you have like your other UI associated with the tower defense. So this here would be, I can zoom into this. Yeah. So this would be like statistics on how your tower is doing. So like damage, attack speed, and range. You also have like a level up button, and you have a delete button. Those were not implemented. This is kind of not implemented as well. But standard TD stuff, like how many lives you have left, how much money you have, and experience for leveling. I thought it'd be cool. Excuse me. I thought it'd be cool to introduce a leveling system and maybe do something from that, right? So maybe abilities could be unlocked at a certain level. Maybe your towers get more powerful as you level up. Something scaled off of level. I don't know how to implement it, but the fact that the system is there, I think it's kind of cool because it gives you one more option to delve down a different path. All right, so we got wave, enemy count, and timer. So a lot of this game jam, I was just like in Photoshop, like 4 to 8 hours of it was just me in Photoshop. It's a lot of fun. I've never really created much game art before, but yeah, I've got a lot to work off of now. Some of I scrapped, like this inventory thing used to be here. It just didn't look that great. I had like backgrounds that I created that didn't get implemented in. So enemy types, right now I'm just using a capsule. Yeah, we can just like check out some of the stuff on the Unity side. I'll kind of break it down pretty quick. So you can see some prefabs here I was using for testing. So like blade towers. See if I can find it, right? Blade tower, and then we got blade tower 2. So this is like an evolution, like as they level up, this is what it would look like. And you got blade tower 3. So you can kind of see distinctly that each stage is at a glance better, right? Just larger in scale. You can see we have like 0.6, 0.6 there, and then we have 0.8, 0.8, and then probably 1.1. But it also gains this like little crown bit, right? And also the blade becomes a little more purple, right? So it's these little features that I wanted to have for each of the models. I didn't necessarily get there, but I thought it was pretty cool. So maybe in the future we'll see something like this. And then we can go to the game manager. So these are all the various systems that I had. So placement manager, this will control how your tower is placed on a grid. Grid is generated at runtime, and that will be kind of like a I'll get to the bounds later. I forget exactly off the top of my head, like 8x8 or 10x10, something around there. So this is where you can place towers validly. Round controller. So this would be like how often till a wave spawns, like how many enemies spawn per wave, how much time before round starts. There's a bunch of variables over here. And then like it also points to what UI elements that I want to update and reference. So like wave here and like time counters. Player manager, this manages the person who is actually playing the game, right? So the lives are associated with this, and the experience are associated with this, and the money. So these 3 systems down here, all player based. Shop manager, so when you want to purchase a tower, how to actually tell the game, check for how much money you have, and then figure out where it can be placed. So this is pretty much just pointing to a prefab, like one of these things I've created over here, like level 1 version of the blade tower, and I'll be like, okay, this is what I want to spawn, this is how much money it's going to cost, so interact with those 2 subsystems and then place it on the map. We've got map manager. This is the coolest one. Yeah, so 10 by 10. It will create a 10 by 10 grid and create a path, and then you can have your enemies do kind of like a waypoint spawn and do some pathfinding to navigate towards the end. Hotkey manager. I don't think I really use this. I can't recall what hotkey manager does, but it's in the game. And then we have our UI. So our UI is pretty extensive, right? So we have all these various elements in here. So I don't want to do like a super technical breakdown of everything. Like I don't want to pull up any code or anything, just because I think it's quite a bit. But I'll just go through each of these sections at a high level. Maybe I'll expand it just to see all the components within. But yeah, it's a lot. Okay, so at first, let's do tower selected panel. Sure. All right, tower selected panel. Kind of explained this a little bit earlier, but you can see all the various components associated with it. So you've got your panel overall. You've got a background element within that panel, so you can anchor it to the panel. And then you've got a text element. You've got an icon, so that would be whatever the tower icon is. And then you've got the statistic images, right? So tower selection, boom. Then we got affinity. Affinity, I think, is a cool system. Didn't really see the light of day. Yeah, the light of day. I'm pretty sure that's how it goes. But what it would do is, like, the more of a tower you have, the better it gets. Like, I think that's kind of interesting. Like, go like stack one type of tower, or an affinity unlocks and you by a certain condition, and then you just get a permanent like aura or boost to that tower. Those were the 2 ways I was thinking about implementing affinities. And when we get into the game, we can read the tooltip just to see what I put there. And then we also have active effects. We'll get to that soon, but I'm excited about that one. Okay. Text bars. I just got one just for text bars. Cool. Sure, we'll skip that. Towers. And then we've got the 4 towers that are purchasable. Those are like kind of these main icons that I created. You've got a nature, fire, light, dark, or blade. Tower interaction panel, and this will be leveling up, as I mentioned earlier in the video. So at this point I'm duplicating myself, but it's okay. We'll get to the game after I just go through this hierarchy here. Abilities, yeah, this is cool. So those are just a bunch of abilities that don't necessarily work, but for a game jam, it's like ideas to think of, right? So when in a TD, the player can have a certain ability that they can use to help and target on the map and be like, okay, I just want to destroy some of these mobs, or maybe I want to stall them by casting a bunch of entangle roots. So it's kind of like Warcraft 3 vibes, like cast a hero ability in a TD or something like that. I thought it was cool. And then active effects, there's several. So it's easier to go into the game and explain that stuff, but mostly a bunch of UI. And we got the art here, and then I can go to prefab, some projectiles that I created. I want to show you the scripts folder just to show you how much code was involved, actually. Would be scripts. Oh, obviously. Okay, boom. So we, boom. I don't know why I'm doing that. Affinity manager, build tower, enemies, right? We've got a bunch of different scripts here, and some of them correlate directly with those game managers. And even tower systems, like how certain towers behave. That's where I would place most of that code base. I would want to have like one tower class and abstract a lot of this stuff and only have like nature tower casts entangling roots or something like that. I would have that there. Light tower can shoot from very far away. Flame tower shoots really fast, like attacks, like how fast it attacks, what model is attacking. I mean, I feel like there are certain attributes that can be abstracted, right? So I needed to find that pattern. I didn't quite do it, but that was where my head was going. And Tooltip, yeah. So this was also like the tooltip system. I think I was the most proud of during this hackathon or game jam because I have never done a tooltip system in Unity before, and tooltips are so important for all kinds of games I play, any game really. So I'm happy to have it. So kind of just going over Unity and a lot of the stuff kind of I learned. I could have gone more in depth and more concise and probably more clear, but just wanted to kind of give you a little look on what I was doing when this game jam was going on. So I'm going to go ahead and go on to the game, and we're going to play the game and then close out the video. And maybe I'll have a follow-up video because I do have footage of like me going through and creating art and some like recorded footage during the game jam. So maybe I could make a longer form film. But I just wanted to do a quick update, quick video saying, hey, I did a game jam. This was the process. This was the tooling. This is how the game played. Yeah. And also check out reulan.com, reulan.com. And there is a blog post there as well on LD48. So if you want more info, it's out there. Okay, so closing out this Unity window, and now we're in Brave. Yeah, and we're just gonna go ahead and play the game. Boom, full screen. Created in Unity. All right, so I guess this is full screen. So we got our tower grid here. We got a few different towers. And then tooltips, right? So blade tower, greatsword tower, those are the two we can buy. Okay, it looks like we got a guy spawning, so I'm just gonna go ahead and use this. And you can see his eye is like twitching a little bit. So he's shooting some stuff, and then you can see the blade tower also attack at a certain point. So you can see our money is going up, our XP is going up. There's no like sound effects, there's no music cues, there's a lot of systems that are unimplemented. So I just want to place another blade tower real quick, and then I'm just going to go over some of the active tooltips. So like game design ideas more like, and I might actually leak. Okay, cool. So this guy can actually turn, track, and potentially shoot projectiles. Looks like he's not shooting projectiles, but he's definitely tracking. So we got like upgrade tower, right? Upgrade placeholder tower for money cost, right? Because you can actually select towers, but that would be a next step. Sell tower. So once the tower is selected, whatever tower's here, you would sell it, right? But the affinities, right? So in this case, yeah, the nature tower does like throws a nature orb, deals AoE damage, hits all units in time the projectile lands in. I'm pretty sure I meant it right, in tile. Right, and there's some statistics there. An affinity requires 3 nature towers, right? So if you have 3 towers, then that unlocks this effect, and then you can unlock Entangling Roots. So how I would want to do in the future, not sure, but that's definitely one path you could take forward. It'd be cool to see that come to fruition. So I'm going to place the most OP tower, this Blaze Tower here. The reason it's so OP is it attacks 3 times in 1 second. I just know. Oh, okay, yeah. So 0.25. Okay, actually, like 1. So it attacks 2. I actually don't know what I'm saying. So 1 versus 3. Right, it's 2 attack speed faster than Blade Tower. And it deals the same amount of damage. Right. It costs more. But I'm pretty sure that's the best tower. I know in an older version it used to be even better, where it was like it got nerfed pretty hard because it was like 3 damage or something like that, and it attacked like crazy fast. But I'll build a little bit of all the towers, right? So there's some projectiles just shooting into the wild, right? We got like monster number counts. So yeah, just wanted to share this. I made it for Ludum Dare. I mean, I thought it was kind of cool. Potential could kind of make a V2 of it or iterate on it further, but I don't know. I kind of want to focus more on the game server stuff. This was pretty fun just to see what I could do, right? How far I could push the limits in the period of time for the game jam, like the 72 hours I was given. So I'm happy with this. And yeah, so pretty much like Ludum Dare, the theme was deeper and deeper. So I didn't hit that right, but I spent my time going deeper and deeper into 2D UI. Okay. And then there's some stuff about how to play the game. Check out my site. Boom. There's the blog post. It's not a lot, but generally, I agree with this, right? Learned about 2D, UI canvas, mouse over tooltips, tower tooltips, custom art for all the game. So it made a player controller which interacted with several subsystems, towers, enemies, money, waves. Text Mesh Pro, yeah, I have only used the prior 2D text, and I do say that. Resolution to a static size, scaling it up, uploading to itch.io. Cool. And here I do say it's like half complete, but yeah, it still kind of sums up what I did. And I just made this video to kind of like physically show what I was doing. And yeah, check out Noob Shack. And hope this was interesting. All right, take it easy, everybody.